Horrible. All right, guys, welcome to the hot seat. We are ready to go. I'm your host, CJ of Cooking with CJ fame. Tonight we have a great guest, a special guest, an honored guest, Jared from BBQ and Bottles. He is an Instagram star and then soon to be YouTube star because we're gonna help him grow tonight. All right. Before we get really started, I want to say hi to my co-host with the most, Ken Vandy Weird. How you doing, brother?
Good.
All right, you ready to get going? Cool.
Yes,
shout out to all the mods in the chat. I see Hobo. Honestly, I haven't seen anybody else. I thought Scotty would be here at least. Is Jay? All right, I'll shout out the mods as they come in. I'm pretty sure
Jay is here.
Jay is there. Okay. I'm pretty sure Red's not going to be on because I think he's still in Australia. So, and then Kirby, he usually jumps on a little bit later too. So, everybody in the chat that I can see so far, we got Kadra Communications Wanderlust. She's new. I'm not too sure who she or he is, but welcome. Easy Bake with Jason, Easy Bake Barbecue, Rice Roll, Meathead Son, Shane from Never Trust a Skinny Chef, Jolly W, Fire and Water, Pickles Barbecue with Charlie, Kris from Eastwood Farms, Eric from Roundhouse Ranch, Nigel's in the house, Soul Food Cooking's there. Let's see, Eric Roundhouse Ranch, Adam Yoakum 294. Dan from Smoky Goodness. All right, thanks a lot. So Dan from Smoky Goodness is Kadra Communications. Miss Booger's in the house. John from 1984 Barbecue. Josh and Babe and Mr. Keith Bet-Tag. Keith, I hope you're doing well. I saw your video, you're a little under the weather, so I'm glad you're here. We missed you last week. See Scotty's in the house, Mod Scotty. Let's see here. Scooter Too Cool. Chef from Texas Style Barbecue and Cuisine. Hope your foot's doing better. You're healing up, Chef. I'm glad you could be here tonight. Let's see. I think that's it that I saw jump in the chat. Suburban Barbecue. I think I got you. I'm not sure, Jim. So welcome, everybody. I'll shout out the rest as I see you. Jared, welcome, brother. It's a long time coming.
Thanks for having me, man. And yeah, huge thanks for having me on the show. Same to you, Kent, for co-hosting this, and also echo a big shout out to all the mods. Appreciate you guys hanging in the chat room there.
All right. See Mike from Culinary Cookhouse. How you doing, brother? Welcome. Good to see you. World supporter, right on for supporting. Glad you're here, brother. Let's see here. You ready to get started? You ready to do this with the hard-hitting questions?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, so first thing is, what are you drinking? That looks like a big dog or something.
Yeah, so I used to be like really into the IPAs and the big hoppy beers, and that was like Canada. First off, Canada. I live in Canada. We're like 7 or 8 years behind the U.S. from a craft beer standpoint. So when the craft beer scene first hit Canada, I went deep into the IPAs, and the pendulum just kind of swung back to the other end. So this is a lager, and this is produced by one of Toronto's larger craft beers called Amsterdam Brewery, and this is the founder of that brewery's favorite lager. It's just an easy drinking beer. And for the summer, they've got a deal where you buy the tall boy and it comes with an extra 20%. So can't go wrong.
That's awesome, man. I was just in Vegas, and if you buy a couple Big Dogs beer in the little store in the hotel, they give you a free little airline bottle of booze, free shot with your beers. Can't beat that. See the Dromar family, welcome, guys. Let's see, Bruce Sunberg's here. Chicken Fried Barbecue, which everybody loves that name, Bill. You did good. Let's see, Smoking Joe's Barbecue. Keith, thanks for keeping me updated on the numbers in the chat. We really appreciate that. I like seeing that come up. Let's see. Did I make it by the hat store? No, Jason, I didn't this time. Too busy doing other things. So, Kent, your pay we'll have to come another time. I think we're going in January again. Sorry, we can't get you a hat, Keith. Can't. Sorry. Hey, me, Cranium, barbecue and reviews here.
I'll just wait for my Christmas bonus. It's all
right. Okay, yes. You will definitely, hey, you guys just mark my words. Kent will definitely get a Christmas bonus of some sort. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but he's going to love it. And you guys are going to laugh, I'm sure. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be great. All right, cool. If you guys see some people in the chat that you haven't spoken with or you look interesting or whatever, we are a supportive community, so make sure you're supporting them. Hit the 3 little dots, take you to the channel, go get it done. Christopher Trinidad, welcome. How you doing? Is that someone you know, or is he just new to my channel? Jared?
No, not someone I know. No.
All right. Well, welcome, Christopher. Glad you could be here. So if you click on the show more down below in the description, you'll see my link, Kent's link, all the mods links, and our guest link. So make sure you're subscribed to everybody in the link. All right, so that's all I'm going to say about that for now. Well, you kind of talked about it, but where are you from?
Yeah, so we live north of the border. We're up in Toronto in Canada.
Right on.
So yeah, I've been here for the last 15 years, and yeah.
Have you
beyond the cold in the winter?
Your whole life?
Yeah. So for the majority of my life, there were 2 years abroad, but otherwise, spent all my life here. Whether it was growing up, I grew up in Ottawa, then spent some time in Kingston, going to college, and then went on to Toronto after that.
Right on. Well, I know we talked about that, so I won't ask you that. Let's see. So let's talk about your family life. Wife, kids, dog, cat, ferret.
What wife, no kids. Wouldn't surprise me if we have a dog or a cat soon, but yeah, no, my wife grew up with a bunch of golden retrievers, and we just moved out of a condo downtown a couple of years back. So I've been shocked ever since we moved in here that she's yet to bring home a rescue, but it's just a matter of time.
Nice. Right on. Let's talk about, since just get it out of the way, the Instagram and the 400,000 plus followers on Instagram. As much as you can, take us through how it went from, I have 300 some odd people following me. How did you get to 400,000? Yeah.
So we started on Instagram. It would have been about, coming up on 2 years now. And we started posting some pictures. I think the first thing I posted was some Eisenhower steaks. And, it's like social media. You post something, you get some likes, you get a bunch of views, and you're like, oh, wow, there's like a real community out here. And we just kept posting some pictures. Within the first week we had 1,000 followers, and it just really snowballed from there, frankly. And it ended up blowing up into something that, my wife and I certainly didn't imagine from the outset. And it just kept mushrooming. And when we got north of 50,000 followers, we started getting just a ton of people asking us, oh, can you repost this? Can you give us a shout out on your feed? And so we really turned it into what's really a repost account today. So about 25% of our content is original stuff that we create, but otherwise, it's really about the community in the barbecue. And, much like you and Kent always say, it's, this is about getting everybody exposure and, highlighting the great things their people are doing out there for their families every night. So that's really, part of the reason that we don't show our face a lot on social media. Like this, in our mind, this is more an account for the people as opposed to something that's specific to us. So, we're really trying to create something that's more of a community as opposed to, an individual.
All right. Well, tell me something. When you have that many followers or whatever, like, how is there like if you had 4,000 or 400,000 subscribers on YouTube, you'd probably be raking in a little bit of cash right now. Is there a sort of way to monetize your Instagram?
So if you think about the YouTube monetization, it's all about AdSense and getting views. On Instagram, there's none of that. So we get about 20 million views a month, and there's no equivalent monetization method. What we have done in the past is we've partnered with brands, and it's more the brand partnerships where there's some kind of monetization opportunity. But again, we're like, what we try to do, again, it's really, we didn't start this as a for-profit endeavor. So when we've worked with brands in the past, we're just asking for them to make a charitable donation. Sometimes we are taking money and we'll make a donation ourselves, or we reinvest it back into, running the social media feeds. Cause it's, a lot of people think social media is just people snapping pictures with a cell phone and you instantly post things, but you can actually spend a lot of money just on, software or camera gear and like all of that kind of ancillary stuff that ends up adding up. It probably costs us somewhere around, $4,000 or $5,000 a year just to maintain our feed across, equipment and the different software services that we have. So again, we're not really trying to make a profit off of any of this. It's about building the community.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's a great thing. I mean, you want to build it, you want to grow it. You've done that, man. I mean, seriously, I think everybody here is just probably blown away by the 400,000 people that follow your account, that know who you are in some shape or form. So that's very cool.
Yeah. Look, and I mean, we're super grateful, but again, this isn't anything that we ever expected at the outset. And certainly, like if anybody on this channel right now, wants us to give them a shout out, like feel free to DM us a picture or video on Instagram. Like we're absolutely happy to do that. So that's what this platform's for. It's not about, us creating content for ourselves. It's about the community here.
Right on. All right. So let's talk about what you're doing for yourselves and your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That is something I know you want to grow too. And we had talked about why one doesn't transition to the other. Why don't you, because in my mind, I'm like, you have 400,000 followers and you have just under 5,000 subscribers. The numbers don't add up, right? In my mind, layman kind of, looking from the outside in, I'd be like, well, I'll just make all these people do my thing over here. So tell me about that and why it's so hard to get the groups to mesh.
Yeah. To be honest, it was a bit of a surprise for us as well. What I think it really comes down to is if you think about Instagram, it's really people who are there who are looking for pictures or who are looking for a maximum of a 60-second video. And, as you all know, the videos are probably closer to 50 or 20 seconds on average. And I think there's a very specific mindset. Like I know when I got into Instagram, part of it was just, you've got all these pockets of a couple minutes in your day, and if you're waiting to board a plane or you're doing something and you just want to like quickly busy yourself for a little bit, you can pull up Instagram and you can look through awesome pictures of brisket or ribs or what have you. And you're not really there to engage and learn in something, versus the YouTube platform is clearly, you're oriented around 5 to 10 minute videos. People are clearly coming to watch content, learn something from it, take something away from it in one way or another. And I think as a result, like if you're on Instagram with that kind of mindset of, oh, I just got a couple minutes and just like flipping through a bunch of food porn or whatever, that's, that doesn't necessarily transfer over to YouTube, where you want to sit down and, look at a recipe on how to make homemade bacon or how to do ribs or what have you. So it's a bit of a different audience with different objectives. So I think that's why it hasn't really ported over in the same way.
Right on, right on. Uh, that it makes sense the way you explain it, but like I said, from sitting from the back coming into it, I was like, dude, you should be making tons of money. You're the next PewDiePie, man. Let's make this happen. So now obviously it makes sense, and that's great, man. Just even, well, shit, you don't want to say just have 500 or 5,000 subscribers. That's a lot of work, dude. That's heavy duty. So, congrats on getting that far.
No, and to all those creators out here on the YouTube platform, you all know it takes a ton of effort to go through, plan, script out, shoot, edit, and post a YouTube video. Like, the amount of effort that it takes to grow on YouTube is exponentially more than it does on Instagram. And kudos to everybody out there who's putting in the time to create some awesome content. Like, I love watching everyone's videos and getting new ideas on, what to grill on the weekend, or, I'm pretty sure my wife's sick and tired of hearing me talk about barbecue, but, bouncing new ideas off of her and what she wants to try. And it's a ton of fun.
Yeah. Hey, man, the wife coming up with ideas is a good thing. I mean, Mrs. CJ has Pinterest, and I get little emails and screenshots. You should make this. How about this? Well, this looks good too. It actually helps. I mean, she's giving me a great list of things that has really helped me grow my ideal list for videos coming up. So
yeah, it's always right there. It's great to just have someone who will give you like honest feedback. And to be fair, like, my wife does so much work behind the scenes, whether it's editing the videos or directing and like being behind the camera and saying, oh, you should have done this or do this. Like, she probably spends, twice as much time on social media and managing all of this than I do. That's for sure.
Well, that's awesome. Speaking of the wife, is she available? Do you want her to come on? Would she like to come?
No, she said she wasn't going to make an appearance.
All right. We're just, we want to make sure if the option's there, we want to make sure that they can do it. So, all right. I'm going to shout out a few people in the chat, then we'll go to Kent. All right. All right. So, Cooking with Corey's here. Jim EQ, Kristy's Cooking Channel, Eye Candy, Cooking with James, Ronald Moore, Kris from Bottle Cap Barbecue, Mr. Brother Daryl from Bad Beast Barbecue, Tom Hinnerman, Fire Escape Griller, Soul Food Cooking, Home Head Chef, and Tom's Tinkering. I think that's everybody that I saw roll through. We have 43 people watching right now. That's great for us. Pop-up Monday special edition hot seat. And I appreciate everybody for showing up tonight to be on this. I know a lot of people are missing out on some Monday Night Football. Hopefully all you people in Texas aren't too upset by missing the Cowboys. Last time I checked, they're winning. Can you confirm or deny?
As usual, you are wrong again. The game is tied at 7.
Son of a bitch. All right, well, it shows how much I really care about either of those teams. So, well, hey, real quick, are you into American sports and football at all?
Yeah, no, to be honest, I don't track it a ton, but every year the company I work with, we hop on a bus and we go down to watch one of the Bills games every year, which is always a blast. Like, we hop on a big bus at like 7 a.m. We leave downtown Toronto, make it down across the border in time to tailgate for 2 hours before kickoff. And then after the game's done, pile back on the bus and head back home. It's a ton of fun. Like, up in Canada, we tried to get an NFL team a couple of times. I think it would basically just destroy the CFL. That's part of the reason there's been some resistance on this front, but it's pretty incredible how they've just made Sunday a total experience with, from tailgating right through to the after parties. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, half the time people that start tailgating that early don't make it to the game. So, so when you went down to Buffalo, do you guys stop and at least try the wings?
Yeah, well, so we found this spot. So every year we make incremental improvements, right? As you'd expect. So this year was our 6th year, and in about year 3 we stopped grilling ourselves, just because you're down there, you want to talk, you want to get straight into the food. You don't want to have to spend 60, 90 minutes prepping. So we found this joint called Susie's Q in Buffalo. Right. That's right off the highway on the way down to the stadium. So that's perfect. We put our order in about 6 months in advance, pick it up on the way down, and they're incredible ribs, brisket, mac and cheese, the cornbread, a little bit of slaw. It's awesome.
Right on. All right. Well, I've kept young Mr. Vandy Weird waiting long enough. He's been telling me he's so excited to have you on and he has plenty of questions for you. So, but before we go to Ken, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Ken.
Well, a little more notice would be nice because now, I can't watch football. It's commercial.
Oh, well, I beg your pardon, sir.
All right. Jared, I got a list for you here.
All right. Shoot away.
The first one comes from one of your old fellow Canucks, Miss Booger. And I have to say poutine because I can't say poontang or she'll get upset. It's kind of a 2-part question here, so sit tight. She wants to know, do you know what poutine is? And then Hobo wants to know, is that an employment requirement in Canada that you actually know what poontang is?
So to answer the first question, of course I know what poutine is, and it's one of the greatest culinary creations that this planet's ever seen.
Hey, you're right. We agree. When I first got started in this YouTube game, we did a poutine challenge. It was 6 Canadian cooking channels and 6 American cooking channels. And we went to town on that stuff. I love poutine.
Yeah, the key.
I order it any chance I get.
If it's done right, it is incredible. And the key is super hot, crunchy fries. You need real curd cheese, and then you need hot gravy so that it all melts. And it's better at 1:30 or 2 in the morning, if you know what I mean.
After a couple adult beverages.
Yeah, no, it's the perfect late night snack food. And is it an employment condition? It might as well be. It might not formally be on there, but I think you'd be pretty hard pressed to find somebody in Canada who didn't know what poutine was.
Now, have you made it on your channel yet?
No, I haven't. I mean,
what the hell?
Great idea. I gotta add it to the agenda.
All right, go ahead, Ken. Sorry, bud.
All right. The other thing is we've had a couple comments and questions. You remember earlier before the show, I told you to watch out what's in your background?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know about that kick-ass commercial stove you have behind you, both Hobo Nichol Testing Laboratories and Mr. Tom Horseman. They want to know about your stove back there. So
that's the stove that we've been doing a lot of the steak sear videos on that we've been grilling up recently. It's just a regular Wolf Range gas burners, which after having just switched to gas since we moved here, huge fan. That the instant heat is pretty awesome. What I know is lacking over here though is the ventilation. So the good thing about YouTube videos is that you can edit them because the number of times that we've been searing steaks in cast iron and set every fire alarm off in our house, it's that the ventilation right above that stove leaves a little bit to be desired. So we're going to have to do something about that at some point here.
Just punch a hole in the wall. Piece of cake.
Yeah. We either open the front door wide open in the back porch and just, get a nice cross breeze going, but still it's a bit of a pain.
I put a box fan in the window. That always works.
Yeah, the problem is the winter when it's like minus 30.
I hear you there. All right. Soul Food Cooking has a question for you. Wants to know, what do you like most about that beefer grill?
What do I like most about the beefer? So it made the best burgers I've ever had in my life. So that machine is clearly made for searing steaks, and I think it does a really good job at that. The job that it does on on burgers is unreal. So you get this crazy sear on the outside that just locks in all the juices. You drop it down to a lower rung on that beefer to finish it off until the internal temp hits what you're looking for. And it is. I'm hungry right now, and I've already eaten dinner tonight just thinking about it.
Hey, Kenny, real quick, you're talking about the burgers, and I just saw Miss Booger say that she did a bison burger in the air fryer, and Dan from Smoky Goodness is in the house. So welcome, Dan, real quick.
What do all you guys think about the air fryer? I see a ton of these air fryer videos, and it's piquing my interest.
Well, I think it is a good thing for like me where I live because it's hot all the time. I mean, there's a couple months out of the year where it's nice, but then it gets towards the end of the summer and spring, it's pretty warm. And even right now, it was 85, 90 degrees today. So for me, it's like having a little oven that I don't have to heat up the house for, and it does the trick. Everything I've made in it has turned out pretty well.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, air fryer recipes with Booger 500 US. She enjoys it.
And do you find it, like, if you were to do wings in there, do you get that same kind of crispiness on the outside?
I believe so. I believe so. I haven't done wings yet, but Miss Booger will say yes. A couple other people will. I haven't done the air fryer wings yet, but I believe that you get just as crispy because you're still putting oil on it. It's still heating the oil, and it's still giving you the thing you need. So, yes, and yes. She knows what she's talking about. So, I mean, I think it's cool. Mine does a bit more stuff. It has like a rotisserie. It has skewers, to do stuff. It did like 6 or 7 different things. Dehydrates. I haven't done everything that it does, but so far so good. So I don't know if it'll work too well on the BBQs and Bottles channel, but
hey, we're accepting of everything like that. As long as you get good food off of it, that's great.
Right on. Kent is dying over there, and I'm dying to hear why he's dying. So go ahead, brother.
I'll go back and see Hobo's comment in the chat. That's all I'm going to say. He says, what are you trying to do? Turn the air fryer debate into a slow and sear debate? Come on. It's pretty good. So, all right. Back to questions for you, Jared. Sorry. It's just hilarious. You got people on both sides. Hey, maybe everybody should vote tomorrow, just for slow and sear, no slow and sear.
Hey, Fire Scrape Griller said he grilled a steak on a shovel. I think he'd be okay with the air fryer.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we got a mixed reception on that video.
I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Here's a guy cooking on a fishing pier over an open fire, cooking a steak on a shovel. I'm like, come on now. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was honestly the crust that we got off of that had to be like. So I've got one of these steak sear videos coming up that is actually the best crust I've ever gotten on a steak, but the second best crust I've ever gotten on a steak was on that shovel.
Hey man, who can argue with that?
All right. Cooking with James has a question for you, wanting to know, what do you feel about the YouTube changes that keep happening? or do you even really care?
So James, if you want to be a little more specific, I'm happy to answer the specific items. I think the two changes that happened most recently that I'm aware about, first was the change in order for channels to get monetized, where the channels had to hit 4,000 viewing hours and a minimum of 1,000 subscribers in order to be part of the partner program. I think there was clearly a bunch of negative backlash when a bunch of creators like, guys like Logan Paul went out and shot videos of people who had committed suicide in a forest in Japan. Like it's awful stuff. And you can understand why advertisers had the kind of reaction and backlash that they did. So I'm totally sympathetic to that. I think if you look at YouTube's reaction, they said, well, we need more manual verification that channels are putting out content that we want to actually serve ads in front of. So I can understand why, they needed to raise the bar in order for you to qualify for ads, to weed out a bunch of channels that, frankly, just reduced the number to something that was more manageable for them to review. What I'd say personally is, I don't think, frankly, that I necessarily lost a ton of YouTube revenue during those days that I hadn't hit those metrics. I was a relatively small channel. I think, maybe at that time you would have been making a couple cents a day. It's not like you've foregone this huge revenue opportunity as a result of them increasing the threshold. I think the debate would be just mentally, by them raising the threshold, does that just make it feel like it's that much harder as a startup channel to hit those thresholds, and as a result you never start one up in the first place? I think that's the argument that's resonated the most with me, just around potentially stifling creativity, because you've put this bar so high that it's hard for people to reach it. So at the end of the day, I don't think if you're going into, whether it's Instagram or YouTube, with the objective of solely making money, you're going into it for all of the wrong reasons. And I can assure you the amount of time and energy and effort that you put into it is going to way surpass any kind of reasonable outcome. So you got to go into it because you enjoy it, for the passion of it. If it mushrooms into something you didn't expect, great. If it doesn't, you still got, this creative outlets. I think what's the second change? The change they made recently, actually, which was a positive one, they just announced, was it last week? They've rejigged the way in which they share revenue with creators on the platform. And certain creators have seen 200-300% increases in their revenue, just because it sounds like they just had an error in the way their algorithms worked. So obviously anything they can do to help support the creators on this channel or on this platform is a great thing, and commend them for doing that, as opposed to just sweeping it under the rug and hiding it.
I agree with all that, Jerry. I was a new channel when I was shooting for the 10,000 views, and then it went down in February that you got to do the 4,000 hours, 1,000 subscribers. But it made sense to me too, because if it gave them, manual reviews to keep idiots from doing stupid shit, then it's fine. And even I've seen Hobo say in there too, it's pennies, just like you said. So for 10,000 views, I'm going to make 2 pennies a day or whatever. I'd rather start now when I'm, because I just hit the threshold. I'm waiting for a review. So it'll probably be more profitable now going into it with that much. I mean, not profitable, like I make a bunch of money, but it might be 5 cents instead of 2. So,
you can look at a bunch of incredible creators that, I've looked to just to see, how they're creating better content. And a guy like Casey Neistat, as an example, he didn't monetize his first 500 million views on the platform, which is just absurd when you think about it. And, he's in it to create good content and build an audience on this platform, and the whole monetary piece is a bit of a, you know, a second or a side consideration for them.
That's crazy. I can imagine. All right. And I see a couple people making comments in the chat. They'd love to have the 200 to 300% increase too. All right, go ahead, Kent. Sorry, brother.
All right. Fire and Water Cooking wants to know what gets the most Instagram views. Is it pictures or videos?
Videos, 100%, 100% videos. So, what's really different about YouTube versus Instagram is on YouTube you can post a video and it's evergreen content that will, you know, generate views for a very, very long period of time, almost indefinitely. On Instagram, your content has an exceptionally short half-life, and pictures, you know, that when we post a picture, we'll probably get activity on that picture for 24, maybe 36 hours if it's a real banger. On videos, we just posted a video of us grilling 110-ounce steaks with Guga down in Miami. And that video ran for like a week, and we got 350,000 views on that, 10,000 likes. Like, videos are definitely the way that Instagram is migrating. And if you want to post something that's going to get traction for an extended period of time, like if you go through our feed, 95% of what we're posting these days are videos, and that's the reason.
Perfect. All right. What is the weirdest food you have ever cooked or eaten?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Gonna have to think about that one. The weirdest food I've ever cooked or eaten. So we were on holiday in Thailand one year, and we went into this restaurant that was literally just on the side of the road, like one of those little shacks with a tin roof that you kind of look at and you wonder whether you're going to come out with some type of parasite. And anyway, those are always the best. So we go in there, and the dinner started off, first off, after ordering a Singha, they served it in a glass with ice. So you knew the restaurant was treading in that direction. And we just had them order for us. And they brought us this deep fried catfish in Thailand. And it was odd just given the location, but it was friggin' amazing. It was so good. So I think that one's up there for one of the more odd outcomes. Another one. We were in Beijing, China, visiting a friend, and he took us out for a meal. He ordered everything, didn't tell us everything. He was speaking in Mandarin, so we couldn't understand anything. And these little slabs of red gelatin came to the table, and he refused to tell us what they were until we ate one. And they ended up being these solidified slabs of duck blood. And they didn't taste all that bad. I'd eat them again if I had to, but it was kind of unnerving when he told us afterward.
Wow. Duck blood. Yeah. I probably wouldn't try it if I knew what it was ahead of time. Let's see. Hobo Nichol wants to know, do you need to do anything special setting-wise to film for Instagram?
Well, it depends. So it depends whether you're shooting for your feed or whether you're shooting for your story. If you're shooting for your feed, I typically still do landscape filming. I always shoot at 60 frames a second in 4K. And so when then you edit afterward, you have to downscale it because videos on Instagram have a maximum size of 150 megabytes. So you've got to downscale it to something that actually fits within that size parameter. I think more so than like those kind of technical pieces, the real challenge in my mind for video on Instagram is you have 60 seconds to work with, and that's it. So one of the reasons that we started up our YouTube channel was just the fact that, if you want to explain to somebody how to try and make and cure their own homemade bacon, that's really hard to do in 60 seconds, like exceptionally hard. So I think more so than any of like the technical pieces that I kind of went through at the start there, when you're shooting on Instagram, you've always got to be mindful is the mindset of the person is they're there to binge watch just some junk for a brief period of time while they want to see some incredible barbecue, but they're not there to like take away and learn things. And so you really have 60 seconds just to capture their attention and their imagination, which is a very different ball game than shooting a 10-minute video on YouTube.
Well, were you saying that? Have you tried the IGTV yet?
No. I have tried IGTV. I don't like it. I
don't either.
Like, it gets zero traction. It's kind of, honestly, it kind of goes back to our discussion about trying to get people to shift over from Instagram to YouTube. It's that same kind of challenge. Like when people are at Instagram, they want to see your feed, they want to see your story. They don't want to go and digest like a 5-minute plus video on IGTV. Like I think there's YouTube for that, and Instagram saying, "Oh, we're the YouTube killer," because nobody wants to turn their phone from vertical to landscape in order to have to watch a movie. Like,
yeah, right.
I don't know about you, but it's not that much of a hindrance for me.
No, it's not at all. All right, Kate.
All right. Let's see. Can you tell us what's in your super secret family barbecue rub?
So I am going to do a YouTube video on this, and it's really simple. It's going to be coming out. So I won't say it on this channel, but it's coming out soon. It's really basic, but it's one thing that honestly we love sharing the food that we make off of when we're barbecuing or smoking. But one of the things that people most commonly ask for is a rub. So it's nothing special, really down the fairway. It'll come to the YouTube channel.
All right. Is
right
also,
there.
off of that, is that an AP barbecue rub, or is that just for chicken or beef? Or
so I originally made it just for ribs, and like a lot of things in barbecue, they take more time than just buying something from the store. So when I tend to do anything on barbecue, I tend to do a way larger batch than what you're actually going to consume in the time. So whenever we're doing rub, we'll just do a giant batch of it, get a whole bunch of mason jars, sterilize them, and then just fill up. Like we usually do, 8 to 10 times the batch, and then just fill them up. We'll either give it away to friends, or that it stores almost indefinitely in a mason jar. So that's kind of our approach.
Never trust a skinny chef, Shane. He said he asked his wife for a new rub, and he got a dirty look.
Shane, I love that name. Never trust the skinny chef. Great motto, man.
That's awesome. All right, Kent, how much more you got, brother?
How long you want me to go? I got about another 10 or 12.
All right, why don't you let me take over for a minute, and then we'll come back to you. All right?
Well, let me ask one final one.
Yeah.
Culinary Cookhouse. Mike wants to know.
Mike, hey.
The steak you cooked on a shovel.
Yeah.
1 to 10, where would you rate it?
I would give it an 8.5. It turned out, so honestly, like I was saying, the crust before was the second best crust I ever had. The reason that I actually only rank it 8.5 versus something higher than that was because it wasn't actually the best cut of meat. I just did a sirloin. I was in a bit of a rush. I didn't have a chance to go to the butcher and get something that was grass fed. So that's, as much as people love hating on that video, it's, it's not that bad. And if you're freaked out about your shovel having a bunch of chemicals in it because it's 30 years old and you've actually used it as a shovel for that period, like, just, you can go and get a cheap shovel from the hardware store. It's probably cheaper than buying a cast iron, like a nice Lodge cast iron pan. Give it a rip.
That's great. I got a kick out of how you kept using the lake water to clean it, though.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you probably caught a little flack about that too.
Just a bit.
Lake water, yuck! I could just see that happening.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for the fish, it's good enough for you.
Yeah.
Hey man, you eat the fish that come out of the lake. It can't be that bad. Pickles, I see your comment. Sorry, I won't call you Uncle Pickles tonight. He is Bob Ross of the barbecue world. Repost your question, Pickles. I didn't see it. One thing off the shovel. Have you cooked anything else on a gardening tool other than the shovel? Do you use any other gardening tools for cooking?
I have not. No other gardening tools at this point.
You make one of them
I'll be honest.
picks, Yeah,
use a hay fork and put like 12 hot dogs on each tie.
Yeah, I've been debating doing either like one of those Hawaiian luau's where you need a shovel to dig a hole to then drop a pig into, or doing like some Argentinian asado where you kind of do the same thing but then throw in like a side of beef. But it's, those are huge commitments, and I've yet to convince my in-laws to let me dig a giant hole in their backyard up north to do the cook.
I know. I'd love to do that too, man. We need a place to dig a hole.
Is that the cottage you talk about? That's your in-laws' cottage up there?
Yeah.
All right. Where's that? What lake is it on?
It's on a lake called Cameron Lake. It's about 2 hours north of the city.
It looks beautiful up there.
Yeah, we try to get up there in the summer. Most weekends, we're probably up there, I'd say 2/3 to 75% of the weekends. It's just a nice getaway. Like, Toronto's almost 7 or 8 million people. It's a pretty busy city. It's nice to just escape and use that as a bit of a release valve. You're up there just grilling away on the weekend by the lake, having a drink or two. It's hard to beat.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to hang on to a few of these for later. And are there any hose by the lake?
Just shovels. No hose, just shovels.
No hose. No lake hose. Okay.
Oh, hose? Like,
not rowing a hoe.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just let that question linger.
There you go. All right, I'm going to save a few of these for later. I got to get Pickles Barbecue. I got to find his question on here, so I get that on. So.
Right on. Hey, Kirby, welcome. Yeah, man, I put out tons of notifications that we're having a special hot seat with our boy Jared from Bottles and BBQ and Bottles. Real quick, I see obviously Kirby's here. I saw Emmy in there, Donna David, Dan from Smoky Goodness, who was on with his other channel, Amy Lynn. How you doing? I see Mike Montoya, Son of a Pizza Man. Vanessa's dinner table, and Big Rob D's in the house. So got some new blood. So All right. We're kind of we're not asking the same questions we normally ask, just because this is kind of a different interview with a little different subject matter. We're working on an hour right now. Are you still good to go? Are you still comfortable?
Are we an hour in already?
It's
Wow.
50 minutes. Are you good to go?
Let's roll. Let's roll. Right. I might need to refill here in a minute, but that's all right.
Someone said you should crack that Grey Goose behind you.
I might go for the scotch before that.
Nice. Let's see your the red thing on your shirt.
Yeah.
Little pin. What is that?
Oh, it's the just a poppy. Just for Remembrance Day on November 11th. So in November, usually leading up to Remembrance Day, that's just a thing in Canada. You get a poppy just to remember fallen soldiers. And
right on. Did you serve in the military?
No. It's a pretty widespread thing, and we're all pretty lucky just to have the lives that we do, and it's nice to remember those who don't get to sit behind their iPhone every day, just bang out Instagram steaks. Like it's
we feel the same way about our vets, man. It's like our Veterans Day. It's the same thing on the 11th. We have tons of remembrance, and we feel that on our channel here in Kane, everybody in the chat, we support our veterans quite a bit, and we'd love to take care of them and do anything we can for them too. So my pops is a veteran, so it's a big deal that we recognize that every time we have a guest that's on that's a veteran, we recognize it too. So
yeah, no, it's an incredible service and an incredible sacrifice, right? Like you're so thankful. Like every day you go to work and you think about the troubles that you have and what you're battling through, and it's nothing compared to putting your life on the line.
Exactly, for sure. All right, so about that shirt you're wearing, though.
Yeah.
Can we let the people know how they can get themselves a BBQ and Bottles t-shirt?
Oh, yeah. So we've got the BBQ and Bottles t-shirt, the hat too. They're on our website if you want them. So it's, all being part of the community. We put the proceeds back into the channel. Again, we're not doing this for a profit. This is about growing the community. So would love it. Would love it if you want to support us, but totally get it. It's we'll support people no matter what.
Right on. Well, I know that if a couple double extra larges ended up in Iowa and Southern California, we would not turn them down.
All right, we'll make that happen.
Oh, 3X. We need a couple 3Xs. Kris, Hobo Nichol, asked if there's a hoodie on the website.
There's no hoodie. So people want hoodies, eh? All right.
Oh, yeah. Well, all you guys in the cold weather areas, you definitely need to have a hoodie.
Yeah, but look, I mean, CJ, I'm looking at palm trees in the back behind you.
Here. I don't need a hoodie.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'm asking for a friend, man. I wear a long sleeve hoodie. There's probably a 3 or 4 month span where I just do it because it's comfortable.
Just when they're blasting the AC too hard on the indoors.
Exactly, man. Oh, that's funny.
The reason he's trying to ask you for the hoodies is the tight ass. That's his way of getting me a Christmas bonus.
It's all for charity. It's all for good cause.
Oh boy,
that's funny. All right. I haven't seen Mega Fred yet in there, but I always like to make sure we ask the kind of lifetime questions for the few people here. We're going to skip over quite a few of the normal questions just because obviously we've kind of taken a different direction just because of the Instagram and all that. But I'm going to keep the kind of lifetime questions going. So Mega Fred's lifetime question is a favorite music, instrument, bands, whatever. Go.
So favorite bands, favorite instrument, favorite music. So I'm more like an indie kind of guy. So I just like some easy listening stuff. One of my favorite bands, honestly, it's too hard to pick an individual. band. Like I love everything from, like Red Hot Chili Peppers to, U2. I'm pretty flexible. Like there's not a ton that I don't
Timberlake,
like.
right? I mean,
Yeah, to JT and Bieber and
no, not Bieber.
No, I'm kidding.
That's Justin Timberlake. We don't talk about Bieber on this channel. Kent loves himself some '90s R&B too, so gotta mention that.
Nice.
In the '90s,
boys to men
in a country bar.
Exactly. Sorry, I had to wet my whistle a little bit here. All right, let's talk about the YouTube channel a little bit. What kind of got you started on that? Was it really just the length of being able to put your videos on, or was there more of a goal on that one?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's more of the length. Like, even like, again, going back to like trying to explain to somebody exactly how to, do competition ribs, or how to prep and smoke a brisket, or how to, like you can just go into a level of detail that you just can't on Instagram. And I think that's really important. Like one thing I've learned in barbecue is just all of those details actually matter. And if you're going to spend, 10, 12 hours on a cook, and you're doing, if you go and buy a Wagyu Snake River Farm brisket, that's like $200. Like if you're going to be making that kind of investment into a meal, like you want to be doing it right. And I just really enjoy on YouTube the fact that you can get really detailed, and it's just not something you can do on Instagram.
Right on. Have you found the reception on YouTube? Obviously, the growth isn't there, but the reception, like people dig what you're doing, or is it?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like I think one of the interesting things on social media is it does, like, people love to hate. So I like 95% of the people they're like super supportive, love what you're doing. There's always that contingent of people who, you can't please 100% of the people 100% of the time, and there's some folks that come out and always criticize, but it's, it comes with the territory. You just can't let it bug you, and you move on. It's kind of like, CJ, I saw your video when you got your first thumbs down, and it was like tissue paper and all of that, right?
I'll tell you, man, I was waiting for that thumbs down to come, man. I was excited. I knew it was coming. It's funny. Kent's
the sad thing is he meant all that. He was hurt.
I had people like seriously messaging me and all that stuff. Don't quit. You're doing great. It'll be okay. I'm like, seriously, just joking.
Yeah, no, the reception's been great. And to be honest, we've gotten a ton of DMs from people who have on Instagram, of people who are trying stuff out on YouTube and following the steps. And we love seeing pictures of people who have tried something on YouTube. And again, like we give people shout outs on Instagram, and that's, it's all part of the community. Like hopefully at some point there starts to be a bit more of a flow between the platforms, where people are trying stuff out on YouTube and then getting shout outs on our Instagram feed. But it's a work in progress. Like these things take a long time to build, and you never know what direction they're going to go. Right,
for sure. All right, so obviously we get the barbecue part of your name. Where does the bottles come from? I haven't seen too much booze or anything going on there.
Just right there.
Besides,
no.
Of course.
Yeah, no, it's not bottles like what's over your left shoulder there, CJ. That's a real real commitment. No, it's
all medicinal, man.
I
don't touch the stuff.
Yeah, just to keep the blood pumping. We haven't done a ton of bottles. We've been debating, maybe doing some wine reviews at the end of some of the steaks here videos that we've been doing. But frankly, there's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy in some of this stuff, where, we started posting bottles on Instagram at some point, and they weren't getting the same kind of traction as you might imagine from, beautifully done medium rare tomahawk. And as I'm totally sympathetic to that. So we've migrated a bit more to just the barbecue side of things. But of course, you can't forget the bottles.
Well, yeah, I've done, I don't know, 6 or 7 drinking videos, and there's no attraction really at all on them.
Oh,
I
really?
One that got a few more views than normal, but really, it's more for me just to make some drinks and have a good afternoon. So I keep seeing something kind of post through in the chat. Someone asked, "What is a steam it?" You know what that is?
No idea.
STEEMIT. Kent, you know?
No, it Booger had it in there earlier that I hadn't got to yet, and I see Pickles brought. So maybe you guys.
I thought it was like a Canadian thing or something, but maybe not. Booger put it in the chat. What the hell is a steam it?
A steamy?
A steam it. Steam it.
Yeah, if you drop the T, a steamy it's like the hot dog equivalent of poutine. So in Quebec, again, typically around the late night food scene, they'll steam hot dogs and they steam the buns. It's called a steamy, but
okay.
I've never heard of a steamette before.
He said Tess cooks for you, does it? We'll someone Google that shit and put it in there. Hobo said, "Girl drinks don't sell." It's true. I keep making fruity drinks and no one likes it.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
Steam It is a website where you put like Instagram posts but get paid.
Oh,
interesting. Yeah, never heard of it. I'll check it out.
All right, Steam it. Write it down. We'll do a video on how to do it. I wanted to shout out the last few people I saw in there, but I think I got that taken care of. So I see Meat Cranium's back. So back. Shit, I kind of lost where my head is. So, okay, drop a couple questions in there, and I'll get re-going on my notes here.
All right, yeah, I know you're a little out of sorts today. So, Jared, where do you get the music for your videos?
Oh, so I'm going to reload while I'm doing this. So I'm going to take the phone here out of the stand and walk over. So we subscribe to something called Epidemic Sound, and it's I want to say it's like $15 a month, and you get it's this company over in Sweden, and they make incredible music that you can just use. It's totally licensed from them. You can use it on your YouTube videos. There's an unlimited number of views that you can have per video using their music. You just pay, literally, it's $13 or $15 a month. And they, even if it's basically the same but trimmed down content from the video that you've used on YouTube, you can use that music on Instagram as well. So I think one thing we found on YouTube that's really important is just the audio quality. Like, in some ways, it's almost more important than the video quality. Like, our most popular video on YouTube was shot on my iPhone, and that was before we got the DSLR and all of that stuff, but there was good audio on it. And we just spent the money to get some different music than what the YouTube library allows you.
All right.
Kris,
there's the crack we've been waiting.
There's that sound. Freshy.
That happens at 4:30 in our shop, and there's heads that turn because we don't get off work till 5. But it's we don't talk about it. Christy's Cooking Channel. For your last meal, what would you request?
Homemade bacon. It is, out of anything that we do, one of my favorite things is homemade bacon. Making it yourself at home is a real commitment. It takes 10, 12 days, It's a huge mess. It takes a long time, but the difference versus what you get when you go to the grocery store and just buy store-bought stuff, it's like it's different food. So I'd probably have that and maybe a tomahawk.
I couldn't agree more with that. But would you cook that bacon on a shovel or a hoe?
If it was my last meal, I'd want a hoe present making my bacon.
Amen.
I hear Mrs. CJ up there pounding.
Cooking with James. What's your favorite platform to put content on?
It really depends. Again, it depends what the objective. I mean, I've got I think I'm over 4,000 posts on Instagram. So I guess by definition, that's our favorite. But like all of this, it's just about creativity. It's about doing something that's completely different than what you do at work in your regular life. And it's just that kind of different experience. So I find it, it expands your mind in a different way, doing something that's completely different to your regular. And whether you're making a video for Instagram or YouTube, I personally just like the permanence of YouTube. The fact that, you post a video and it's not going to have a 72-hour shelf life to it, and that it's something that will continue to last on. And hopefully somebody will actually learn something from it, or try it out, or comment on something, and maybe I'll learn from one of the comments in the videos. So I feel like YouTube's a bit more of an engaging platform. So personally, I'd probably prefer just to post on YouTube.
All right. And one other thing from James, who's given me crap because he asked that question like 45 minutes ago. He's all flustered. So another one from him. I think you kind of covered this a little bit ago with the last meal request, but James wanted to know what your favorite food to cook was also.
Yeah, so bacon is definitely up there. What else? So if if we're just going up for the May 2-4 long weekend or a long weekend on the summer, we love doing ribs and chicken wings. So that's chicken wings are crazy easy over charcoal. And I really just got into them this last summer in a big way. Before, I kind of just avoided. I didn't really like the taste of smoked chicken all that much, but you just get that charcoal just raging, and you get a really super crispy outside on the skin. Really quick, really easy to do.
And what kind of side would you have with that? Asking for James again.
Yeah, what kind of side? I mean, beyond the dipping sauces, I'm a big protein guy, and I try to minimize carbs. You've probably seen me do a bunch of keto videos. So I'm usually not doing any kind of sides that have carbs in them. And to be honest, I'm usually doing some kind of salad with an acidic dressing just to cut through some of the fat of the barbecue.
Hello? Did we lose Kent?
I think what I said salad, the whole thing just cut out.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. When he said salad, I was like, well, where'd he go? So, all right.
But I got to do a mac and cheese video. That is, I've been watching so many damn incredible mac and cheese videos where people are they've just got elbow pasta and they have 3 different kinds of cheeses, a really, a sharp American cheddar with Emmental and something else. And it just comes through into this incredible homemade cheesy mac and cheese. I think I'm going to have to try that for a side.
Well, you're in luck, my friend. We have a mac and cheese collaboration coming up on November 19th.
19.
19.
All right.
Cheese collaboration. I'm gonna put you in for a guest shot to do some mac and cheese.
Done. Sign me up.
All right, cool.
And you would be like number 18 or 19 getting into this collab.
Yeah. So at this point, you just gotta throw a hashtag on your video, because trying to list every damn channel on there and link everything, you'd be there all day just trying to set up the description.
Exactly. So, all right, Bill at Chicken Fried wants to know, what do you think of Snapchat, Jared?
To be honest, I think Instagram killed them when they brought out the story. I signed up for Snapchat. I've only ever used it once or twice. I don't know if it's my brain that I'm too old, but I just cannot figure out how to use that platform in the right way. And I don't see anybody over there doing barbecue in a meaningful way. And I mean, all you have to do is go into their public filings and you look at their user engagement. Like they're not the most positive platform from a macro tailwinds perspective. I think, you go onto Instagram. 2 years ago, there were 500 million people using the platform. This past year, they just breached 1 billion. Like, I think you're better off to align yourself with a platform that's growing at that kind of rate as opposed to one that's kind of struggling to keep their head above water.
Right. Snapchat to me is just for like fun with, the kids, or shooting something to the wife or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't do anything, channel related or growth related with it. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Great.
Totally agree.
So, Keith Betag was the first to upload his mac and cheese video. I saw in the chat. He said that is the first video he ever uploaded to YouTube was mac and cheese. So Keith's got the jump on us. So
nice, Keith. Don't let it be your last.
Right on. I see Marion's here. He showed up. Welcome, Marion. Thanks for the inspiration for the Blackstone fried rice that I did last night. It was freaking excellent. And I did bison burgers on my Blackstone today. I just didn't film it. But Dan, if he's still here, and Sal, I didn't see him jump on there, but Diane, whatever. I did bison burgers. First time I've cooked bison, tasted bison. It tasted like beef to me. So I'm like, and also Nathan from White Thunder Barbecues here too.
Hey Nate, how you doing, man?
He was one of the Poutine Challenge Canadian team, I think.
Yeah, so Nate and I, we did a bacon collab. So if you go check out the bacon recipe on our video or on our channel, you should go check out Nate's too. It's pretty sweet.
Right on. I do think I saw it and I comment on it, but I think that's cool that he jumped on here too. I haven't seen him in a while, so very cool. Kent, how are you looking at your questions? You still got more or no?
No, I am all caught up. So
right on.
Back on you. Time for you to do some
damn
work around here.
All right, cool. It's 7:15, or at least 7:15 my time. We're still going strong. You still good?
Yeah, I'm totally easy. Whatever you guys want to do.
Right on. If you guys have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat. Put it to @Kent or capitalize or whatever. But let's keep Kent busy and employed. All right.
So CJ, maybe a question for you. If you've been doing all these cocktail videos, like what's your favorite drink to make if you're just if you're kicking back on a Saturday?
Crown Royal on the rocks.
Really?
Yeah, I really I drink whiskey most of the times because I like it with cigars. That's kind of like my evening drink. If it's during the day, I'll have a couple beers, or I like gin and tonic. I like Hendrick's and tonic. The foo-foo drinks, they're whatever. Those are just fun to get silly with. And if it's hot, which is hot outside, I like the slushy, the blender drinks, just to cool you down a little bit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, man, I'm drinking whiskey and something that goes well with my cigars. So, and I know Daryl loves that too. He's a big Crown drinker too. Rain on, brother. I grew up with Crown with my group of people. I did, however, had some rum this weekend. We were at the cigar bar in Caesar's Palace, and I just felt like trying something a little different. So I tried. Couldn't even tell you what rum it was, but the guy poured it on the rocks for me, told me it was good. So I drank 4 or 5 of them. So
nice.
I was feeling no pain and enjoying my cigar.
What's your game while you're in Vegas?
Everything.
Really?
I gamble. Okay. I have what some people might call a problem. I just call it a good time. But no,
like even the
play
slot machines, or are you more like a card?
I play the slot machines more just to get the points and the comps and all that stuff. And I sit with Miss CJ and we just enjoy, sitting there bullshit. But I play poker every time I go just so I can write off my trips, because I'm a semi-professional poker player on my taxes. On my taxes, so I can write off that shit. And let's see.
But in the U.S., didn't they introduce that new law where you can't play online poker if you're in the U.S. anymore?
No, you can, but not so much as legally. There's 4 or 5 states that have online gaming that is poker that you can do legally, but for the most part, if you're doing it, like I have a website that I use in California that I don't know how legal it is per se, but they get around it somehow, But I don't like to play online that much anymore. It's just a little sketchy, obviously. So if I do, it's just a couple bucks here and there. But when I go to Vegas, I'll play whatever, man. If it's shiny and makes noise, I'm in. If it's a table game, I love playing it. That's it, dude. I love gambling. So I'm a sports book. I'll drop a couple bets on sports. It just is what it is. Every time I go to like place a bet or cash out chips, they have little brochures that say when the fun stops. So Mr. CJ is usually holding it right by my head, taking a picture. Yeah, so whatever. So enough about me. This is about me. Yeah, exactly. Jerk. Let's see here.
Oh, darn, I'm not muted. My bad.
You're not muted. Was that your inside voice? Oh, I know. Cooking with James wants me to go out there and play a little poker. I don't know what happened, but next time I'll get out there. I was in the hot seat already. That's true. James was going to take my money. Not likely, but everybody can have a dream. All right. Let's see here. Let's talk about the cooking aspect of your channel. Like, it's obviously barbecue related and the steaks and all that stuff, but who taught you how to cook? Who inspired you to do this? Are you a competition barbecuer too? And that's how you got
it? This all started when so we were up at a buddy's house for Christmas, and we went up early. It was like 2 back-to-back holiday parties. First party, he gave us a bit of his dad's homemade bacon. Second party, he grilled tomahawks over charcoal. And it was like the back-to-back 1-2 punch of those two. I was like, you know what? I just got to dive deep into this. Like, this is incredible food that I've never had at a steakhouse before. I've just never had at restaurants going out. And so we just started exploring online, doing a ton of, trial and error. Like I think for every video that we shoot successfully, I'm sure we shoot 2 or 3 that, where you're doing the tests and really refining things up front to make sure that you've got it right. And that, I feel like that's just part of barbecue, is the trial and error piece of this, and it's part of the challenge of trying to get better with every subsequent cook. So that's really what kind of got us into this. And I don't know, like I love sitting down around a dinner table and, you know, having that experience with friends. And if you've spent the time to do like a 8 or 10 hour cook in advance of that, and then people just love the dinner, like I don't know, it's a great environment. And, you know, you're making those kinds of investments in friends and a good meal. It's, you know, what's not to like?
I'm with you, man. It's funny. It's like, use the analogy of Thanksgiving dinner. You know, you spend days, hours prepping this thing, and the 30-minute, 45-minute sit down and it's all gone.
Yeah, you got it.
The leftovers and dishes, man. So
just demolished, but you know, you build a lot of family memories around it, and yeah, no, it's just another expression of that you care for people, and yeah, no, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, cool. I'm gonna kind of jump back to my favorite question. So you gotta get ready for this one.
All right, I'm ready. Hot seat loaded.
If Hollywood were going to make a movie about your channel, or your Instagram account, who's playing Jerry?
Nobody important, that's for sure.
You know, it's funny. The only Canadian I can think of is Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like this, I feel like our channel, it's not like I more look to Netflix as the, like I'd rather, as opposed to a Hollywood movie being made, like I love some of the Netflix content that's coming out right now. And I'm like, right now I'm into this 4-season series of, I think it's called Fire, Salt, Acid, and Heat. And it's just, each episode is centered around one of those items. And like, it's all about, you know, going back to the old methods of cooking and exploring how each of those elements changes the taste profile of the food that you enjoy. It's really cool. So I'd probably want somebody on one of those, that, or like Chef's Table is another really good one. Someone on one of those to play it.
I see some suggestions in the chat. Someone said Jim Brewer, Rob Schneider, Tarantino. Yeah.
Well, you know, sometimes we do massacre the steaks.
That's funny. All right. Let's see here. What has kept you grinding on this? What's kept you going?
Yeah, I really like cooking, and I enjoy making food for the family. So it's, you know, it's not that much extra effort for me to, like, my wife puts in a ton of time on this, like way more than I do. So it's probably a question that's better served for her. But we just have a lot of fun with this, and you never know where it's going to go. And, you know, we're trying to, in a number of instances, try to give back to the community. So it's, you know, we're trying to, you know, do a bit through creating a bigger platform and where we can monetize it, feed that back into a charity or something like that. But you know, who knows where this will be in 5 years from now.
Right. It's very admirable the way you put it that way. If your wife's watching, which she should be watching, tell her, you know, great job. If she's doing your editing and putting your stuff together, you know, she's doing a great job. So, and the Instagram is freaking awesome. We see it all the time. It's freaking awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, anybody watching this, if they want to shout out, just ping us a DM on Instagram. We're glad to do it.
Right on. Ken, looks like you got something to say. Oh, nope. He just went mute. All right. Chrissy's cooking channel. She has a lifetime question. I'm going to go ahead and ask you. What is the best and worst thing you've ever cooked? So, and it doesn't have to be for your videos or Instagram.
The worst thing we have cooked that I was super stoked about was oxtail soup. And we just did it earlier this week. Oh my God, it was, we must have done something wrong. It was awful. Like we went in, we got great oxtail. And we did it in the Instapot as just trying it out. That we basically, after eating a bowl, threw it out. So that I would say is one of the worst things we've ever done.
So that didn't make the channel?
That did not make the channel. Yeah, no. One of the better things we've done. I guess that question is kind of like our favorite thing, but putting bacon and ribs aside, we just did a cold smoked salmon. We started Thursday last night, finished on Saturday or Sunday, and it was awesome. Like really, really good. Got a sashimi grade side of Atlantic salmon. Just did a kosher salt brown sugar brine. Cured it for a little over 24 hours. Did a cold smoke with hickory for a little more than 24 hours, and then you slice it up. Oh my God, it's another one of those things that's a big difference relative to what you buy in the store. And with Christmas right around the corner, it's perfect for the holiday season.
Right on. That sounds great, dude. That sounds excellent. I see Shatoya is new, and the fam is new to my channel, but that's very cool. Welcome. Glad to see you on here. Someone asked on the SNS, do you have a slow and sear?
I do not have a slow and sear. So Mike from Everyday Barbecue just did a great review of all the grills that he's got in his backyard. And I gotta say the Weber kettle it's like the gateway drug to barbecue. It is for like $100, you can get what is easily the most versatile cooker on the market. That's how I got into this, and we still use it a ton. The slow and sear, like the one knock on the kettle, I think, is sometimes there's a bit of unevenness, and the slow and sear, I think, with that little water that goes between where you put the coals and the indirect zone on your grill. Anyway, I want to try it. I know there's a lot of controversy out there, but I want to give it a shot.
You should see the chat. Like, oh shit, here we go. Oh no. Hey, look, it works. It is what it is. It does what it says. Is it the be all end all? Whatever. But I don't have one. I've never used it, but we have some people in the chat that have used it. We got some lovers and we got some haters. So it is, or even not haters, but people that just disagree with the magicalness of it or whatever. But yeah, I just wondered if you used it. That's it. I'm not trying to start.
I don't use it.
I'm not trying to start the chat to go on fire. This is we're saving that for when Meathead and Dave from ABC get on and we do a Royal Rumble or something. So
yeah.
That's funny. Ken looks like he has something.
Do I have to wear a black and white striped shirt that night?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Hey, Ken, what does your shirt say? I put sriracha on what?
On my sriracha.
Nice.
My mother-in-law got it for me.
That's funny. Kris, Hobo Nichol, you should make a video on the SNS. I think it'll do well for you. Let us know how it turns out. All right. Cool. All right, so we got Kristy's channel out of the way. Couple little things. What's your go-to drink? Money's no object. Someone else fit the bill. What do you want to drink?
So I am going to go for this. It's a wine. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon that's made in Napa called the producer is Ojo, and the wine's Alta Gracia. I would drink that with a steak. Like that is legitimately probably my my last meal. The maybe as a close second is there some Italian wines. One in particular that's old vintage that I would, maybe you could substitute that out for the Altagracia, but like a good Cabernet or a really nice old Italian wine, I think it would be the drink of choice.
Right on. I'm with you on having a nice cab with a steak. We were at Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse in Vegas.
Nice.
Got us some Justin wine, Justin Cabernet, and enjoyed that with a rib cap, straight up rib cap steak. It was just
beauty.
It was excellent. We had a great meal. I'm full even just thinking about it. It was such a good time. It was such a good time. All right. Guilty food pleasure. Talking about your best drink.
Oh.
What do you got to have besides bacon? We know you like the bacon.
Poutine. Oh man, that is so good. Foie gras. It's guilty. Like mac and cheese. I mean, it's for me like all of that stuff, like all of that carb side of the equation. Just love it. Like homemade pizza. Oh, we've got this pizza oven out back that. Oh, it's so much fun. Like I love having pizza parties where you get. So this year we had our team from the office over and just everyone for the summer party. We had everyone make their own personal pizzas. So we got everyone set up just like flattening out their dough over there, and then they'd shuttle it out back, and we'd like a 3-minute cook, and they've got their own pizzas. That was a ton of fun. And making your own pizza at home, eating it hot while the cheese is still bubbling. Oh, amazing.
That's awesome, man. Well, again, have you done any pizza videos?
No, we haven't done any pizza videos. I'm talking to one brand about getting a really large wood-fired pizza oven that we might put up at the cottage. And if we end up going ahead with that, we will definitely do some pizza videos.
Right on, man. That's awesome. I'm with you on we call it poutine, but you said Putin.
Yeah, well, it's like the French accent. You got to put the
Putin.
It's
the Russian president. No.
Yeah, but more or less.
Yeah. Hey, I am with you on that. See, that dish has become such a hipster dish down here. So you go to any of these little hipster bars, they got poutine going, and it's.
So there's a Smokes Poutinerie in Toronto that's like the known place, and all they do is poutine, but they have like 1,000 different things on the menu, right? And it's poutine with pulled pork, or it's poutine with brisket, or with this or that, and they've got the barnyard poutine, which has everything on it, like shredded chicken, pulled pork, brisket, like double gravy, extra cheese. Like you basically need the defibrillator ready on standby. Sounds
amazing. I did when my poutine was smoked chili verde, and then I didn't use cheese curds because it's not ready available around here. Yeah, but I used queso fresco and and pepper jack cheeses, and I hand cut the fries and fried them up real nice and crispy. Like it was freaking amazing. I just anywhere I can get it, anywhere I see it, I get it. Gravy, fries, and cheese. How could you go wrong?
The combo. To be honest, I don't really understand the haters.
No, I don't. Let's see here. I see someone wants to do a grilled cheese collab. Hey, you set it up. We're all in for collab. Grilled cheese on the Blackstone. Leprechaun is always down for his Blackstone. Let's see. Chatoya Lynn and the fam has any tips for a new channel? Just shoot and keep loading. Keep uploading. Keep making content and you'll grow. And I have a video on how to get from 0 to 1,000 subscribers quick. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Deep Sea Barbecue just got off the boat, I guess. So welcome. Welcome, Deep Sea. He's going to ask a really awkward question at some point. So just be ready for it. Something about desert island, not a desert island, a deserted island. And Deep Sea, do your thing. All right. Let's see here. Guilty, whatever, favorite thing, blah, 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 blah. All right, Kent, what you got, brother? Anything?
All right, from Deep Sea Barbecue. Since you brought it up. If you had to be stranded on a deserted island with this guy right here and had to eat one piece of meat off of him, what piece would you start with?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that much into the cannibalism. It's, I think we'd. I don't know. I think I'd just take a pass. CJ. Unless we got help, we'd probably just die on that island.
I got enough on me that I'll last a lot longer than you. So don't worry.
I'm not even.
That is not okay, Hobo.
I'm not even going to repeat what Hobo said in the chat.
Yeah, that's right near that's near the donkey porn, Hobo.
Well, if you cut a little meat from the backside to use as a bun, it'd be like a steamy. Let's put it that way. Okay. Cooking with James wants to know, do you remember the first thing you cooked, Jared?
The first thing I ever cooked on the barbecue? Probably just probably like hot dogs way back when I was a kid. Yeah. The first thing I ever cooked, though, over charcoal, I did Eisenhower steaks. So that's a video we've posted on Instagram before. We just kind of dove in the deep end. Like, again, you can find so many great tips and tricks and videos. You want to do anything. I saw these caveman steaks, people slapping down thick ribeye straight onto the charcoal, and I figured we might as well try this. And that was the first thing we did on our kettle.
So what's an Eisenhower steak?
So President Eisenhower, his preferred method for eating steak was you just heat up your charcoal, get it super hot, blow off the thin white layer of ash, and then you just drop the steak right down directly on the charcoal, and you cook it that way. So no grate, straight on the coals. The concern that most people have is, oh my God, that's a dirty steak. And anyway, if you've got super hot coals, the steak almost instantly forms a crust. You don't get a ton of dust or ash that collects to the bottom side of the steak. If you use a rub that includes coffee grinds in it, it gives it a nice protective layer and incredibly rich flavor. And yeah, they turn out great. Like, super easy. All you got to do is follow instructions, and you can cook basically anything on the grill.
Right on. So it's basically the caveman steak that everybody.
Yeah, caveman steak. Yeah.
Yep.
We got a couple people just taking off. Daryl from Bad Beast Barbecue and Miss Booger are saying goodnight.
Good night, guys.
Have a good one. Cooking with Corey is the one that brought up the grilled cheese sandwich collab. Corey, hit me on the messenger, and then we'll work out a way to get everybody involved. Okay. And Dan, Smoky Goodness, I'll be in touch too, so we can get everybody doing the thing, and we'll put everybody involved. Trying to organize a collab in the chat is probably not the best way to get it done. I think Hobo is hurting. He hurt his back today. He's had a bunch of bourbon, so his back is feeling much better. So we're glad to hear he's on the mend. Probably not feeling so well in the morning, but we'll keep an eye out for that poor guy. All right, Kent, go ahead, brother.
All right, just a quick update. 21-14 Tennessee.
Wow.
Keith Bettag wants to know, Jared, what is your favorite thing to cook that is not grilled or barbecued or smoked?
Ooh, that is not grilled, barbecued, or smoked. Well, to be honest, it's so that is generally my wheelhouse. So you're carving out a lot. So I'm gonna probably pizza, just wood-fired pizza would be my favorite.
Do you cook that on a shovel on the dock? Or?
You know what? I might.
I want to see it.
Don't tempt me.
He's like, I ain't afraid to party. No, don't tell me.
Let's go. Hell, I'm in Iowa. I'll use a farming disc. There you go. All right. Kind of off that in the other direction, Pickles wants to know, what is your least favorite food? And if you say the right word, I'm going to mail you a $20 bill.
What is my least favorite food? Probably tofu.
Damn it. You're supposed to say pickles. Damn it.
Yeah, no, deep fried dill pickles are amazing.
Disgusting.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness.
I like Charlie, but I hate pickles.
My phone just hit 10% charge, so I don't know how much longer I've got.
Oh my gosh! All right, cool.
All right, I got a couple quick ones for you, and then I'll let CJ wrap up. Jolie W, new channel name to me, asked, did you like cooking at a young age?
Well, it's interesting because that's my dad. So shout out to my folks that too did.
Oh, right on.
So my mom loved to cook growing up, and my dad did incredible breakfasts, like fried egg sandwiches, bacon and eggs with hash browns. Like he was always the I'm gonna start a greasy spoon kind of guy, and like just cranked out awesome stuff in that kind of genre of cooking. And my mom, like I've learned so much from her, less so on like the specifics of barbecuing, but more just the entertainment side and the effort, and putting your love and passion into the food that you make and serving people around you. So it's I'm also not the lightest guy, so I credit some of that to eating a lot growing up.
I will guarantee you are the lightest guy in this hangout right now.
All right, you're finished with your questions.
It doesn't look like it, but I'm 6'5", about 3 bills. So, all right.
He's a biscuit away from 3 bills.
Literally a biscuit. Nigel wants to know, what's your secret for your positive outlook on life, Jared?
He's Canadian.
I mean, look, like haters are always going to hate, and I think like your approach on life and the way in which you advance is like I think there's people can get stuck on negativity and just go into a bit of a downward spiral. Like you always got to just look at the silver lining of things and advance in that way. And like again, if you go my most popular video, if you go look at that, like look at the negative comments. I mean, people are like, you're an amateur, you're a hack, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, 8% of the people who watched this video and commented decided that they didn't like it, whatever. It's, you just focus on the positives and forget the rest of that baggage. And if, everyone's going to make mistakes now and then, and you advance and you move forward, you learn from your mistakes. As long as you don't repeat them, you're good.
Right on.
Perfect. One last quick question. Cooking with Corey, and I believe he means barbecue sauce, but what's your favorite sauce?
Oh, I should do a homemade barbecue sauce video, I guess. sauce is another thing that if you make your own at home, it is a pain in the neck. It's harder to do large batches of because I find it doesn't keep that well, like in the same way that you do a ton of rub and it lasts forever. But if you do your own barbecue sauce and you put like a ton of crushed garlic and fried onions and stuff like that in there, it's a game changer. But I would also say that barbecue sauce it's one of those things when you make and you realize just how much brown sugar that you put into it, you realize like, maybe it's not the best thing for you.
Yeah. The sugars you add to it can get
it's crazy. It's crazy.
So, yeah, it's I make a honey jalapeno that I've given the recipe to a couple people out here and they love it. So
yeah, homemade all the way. But otherwise, I love Head Country. They make a great sauce. That's what a lot of the guys in the Kansas City circuit use. We were just out at the American Royal covering the World Series of Barbecue there for Smithfields, and you go down the booths, and a lot of them are using Head Country.
Head Country and Open Pit are a lot of big used commercial sauces.
Yeah.
All right, Jared, thank you. I know you're running low on your battery. That's all I got for you tonight. I appreciate it. I'm going to let CJ get his final questions in since he thinks he's the damn boss around here. So, there you go, buddy.
See what I have to deal with. I was just going to suggest, do you want to plug your phone in and just not use your microphone? We can just hear you.
Yeah, well, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, if it's shitty, it's shitty, but I think it should be able to pick you up just fine.
Right, can't be any worse than mine.
Well, Kent, and all you people in the chat, you better give Kent a little love for his microphone work tonight. You sound clear, sounds concise. It's good to go.
So can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Okay, here, let me go get the tripod. 1 second.
All right.
While he's doing that, Adam Yoakum 294. I will not make it for you, but if you're nice enough and hit me up on Messenger, I will send you a copy of the recipe. The only thing is, you can use it for personal use. Just don't give it out to anybody else. So,
sounds good.
You back, Jared, or do I need to show more time for what's his name?
Boom, we're plugged in.
All right, we can hear you just fine. Are you comfortable? You good?
I'm good.
All right, cool. That's our first time we've had to move positions with a guest. That's cool. Guess we got it going. Because seriously, we're coming up on 2 hours. I still have a handful of questions. We still have 35 viewers in there keeping their attention. Wow. So that's great. All right, so let's see here. Ken, if you still have questions, keep writing them down. I'll come back to you the last little bit. Let's see here. If you could cook with anybody in history, Jared, who would it be? Live or dead?
It's Melman. So if you guys go onto Chef's Table on Netflix, there's an episode of this incredible chef. He has a bit of a checkered past, but he's from Argentina, and his whole method of cooking is over the fire outside. His cottage is down in Patagonia. It's like one of these totally disconnected, like you I'm sure you couldn't answer a cell phone. You certainly couldn't stream a live chat on YouTube. Like it is all just about disconnecting in the experience. And the stuff that this guy grills over a live fire is unreal. Plus I love Argentina and the wines and the food.
Oh yeah.
That'd be 2 wins.
For sure. All right, well, that's cool. I think we still got Meathead in here. I'm going to go ahead and ask his question. This is the one that usually trips the most people up, but it's not a pass or fail question. So if you don't got an answer, don't worry about it. All right.
All right.
Who would be on your personal Mount Rushmore? Which you know that is, right? You've been in the States enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Who are 4 people that you just love, admire, want to just put up there forever?
So, who do I love that would be on my Mount Rushmore?
Your wife. Excuse me.
Well, my wife. Why don't I think about that? I mean, that's a deep question. I feel like if you're putting people up on your Mount Rushmore, that's like a big thing that you're gonna have to think about for a while.
Well, then you think about it. I'll give you a five. Anyone but CJ. Got it. What a dick. All right, Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue. Welcome. Came in a little bit late, but we're glad to have you here, brother. All right, dude. There's another question you have to think about, so we're not going to go back on this one. Just throw it out there, all right? Oh, yeah, someone said your dad's in the chat, so he might be a good one to throw up there. We got two of the 4 spots already picked for you, brother. All right, man. 3 YouTube channels you watch, all right? 1 big, 1 small, and 1 you think should be bigger.
So, and all food related?
No, whatever you watch, dude.
So I generally, I would silo. I really like this question, by the way. This is awesome. I silo my YouTube viewing really into food related, then like photography and video production related, and then everything else, like all the junk. But, like just for busying yourself. So for food related, there is, so for the big channel, I would say Mark Wiens. I don't know if you guys watch him, but he's a guy who basically I think he's got 2.5 million followers. He literally just travels the world and tries street food. I think he's based in Thailand, but he travels all over the world. He hits spots in the US. He'll go, he had this incredible seafood clam bake out in Seattle. He's done, and it goes all over Africa, Europe, whatever. I think he does a lot of cool stuff. Medium sized. I'm going to say I know I've collabed with this guy, and I'm not just saying it because of that, but if you look at Sous Vide Everything and Guga Foods, he has 2 channels. This guy Guga, I've been down to visit him in Miami. He's probably got 250,000 subs on Sous Vide Everything and 110 on Guga Foods. This guy puts so much effort into every single video. Like it was really inspiring to go and do a collab with him, because he probably spends 16 to 20 hours between filming and editing a single video.
Really?
And,
wow.
I spend a lot of time, as does my wife, on creating content for this platform, but we're probably closer to 7 or 8 hours for a single video. This guy's doubling that, and he does some awesome stuff. Food on the small end. I don't know if you guys follow Not Another Cooking Show.
Oh yeah, he's been a guest on us already.
Yeah.
He was actually my first guest.
He's been a guest on here. So I think he does some I really like his edits. He's probably doing a little bit more of a diverse cooking approach than I do. I'm more just barbecue and grilling and smoking. He's all over the map, but not only does he clearly has a culinary background, but the guy puts a ton of effort into his edits, and I think does a great job of that.
Yeah, his production value is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
but that's his job too. So, being a food editor and food photographer and all that stuff, it's what he knows and what he does well. So That's it. And watching him, it's kind of a. I'm a competitive guy. I know a lot of the people in the chat are competitive. They want to be great channels. They want to grow and they want to do good things. And watching his production value, that guy could probably do a channel on how to do production and stuff like that.
And that's what I was going to say. Like the second category of channels that I watch are oriented around that. And to do large, medium, small bear. So Peter McKinnon, and I'm sure he's Canadian. So my top two are Canadian here.
Weird.
He's based in Canada. This guy, I want to say he started like a year ago, and he's just shy of 3 million subscribers right now. He has like he's got a great personality for the platform, but B, like the guy's got mad skills. Like he has been a photographer and a video editor for forever. And he just kind of got into the YouTube platform to share his craft. And honestly, like I've learned way more about, how to shoot food, how to shoot photography, video, how to edit in Premiere off of his channel. Absolutely incredible. One of his buddies is the second channel, Matty Hapwaya. I'm probably mispronouncing his last name. He's 400,000 or 500,000 followers, same kind of genre though. And the guy has like mad video editing skills. Like that guy, if he produces ridiculously amazing videos. But the one of the channels that I think is actually most relevant for what all of us do here in this community is the Bite Shot. So I think she's got, I want to say 50 or 60,000 followers, but she's growing like crazy. And she just, she shoots at home in her studio, and it's all photography, none of it's video. But oh my gosh, like you can just tell the difference between a professionally shot photo and like mine. And man, like she's really good. She's got so many tips and tricks. I've learned a ton from that channel, and so I'd rank her as third there for the small channels.
Well, you're honestly the first person to give 6 answers to the 3-part question, but that's okay. That's awesome.
My bad.
I saw Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue ask what your channel was. Thanks, Jay, for putting it in the chat. Barbecues and Bottles. If you guys aren't subscribed to anybody in the chat, we go over at the beginning. Make sure you guys are all subscribed to everybody. Click show more in the description. You'll get all of our links too. So I see Meathead said goodnight, or Meat Cranium, Kris, whatever. Good night. Let's see here. Kent, did you get any more questions while we were contemplating life?
I just have a couple questions, and they're both from Jim EQ. He says, since you skirted the question about what part of CJ you would eat on a deserted island, he wants to know what kind of shot would you do from CJ's belly button instead?
You know what? I would probably revert to the first question and just go in for a side rib.
What is going on tonight? There's a bunch of dirty birdies in the chat for sure.
I know, seriously, this is turning dark.
It'd be more like hair of the dog with that guy in his wool sweater. But all right. And then another thing, Jimmy Q said, if you gamble away your drinking money, you have a problem. So,
well, where I go, I get free drinks while I'm gambling.
He's just putting it out there. The first step. Oh, you're in denial right now. The first step is admitting you have a problem.
No, I have a problem. I even said it when I was prefacing it. Some people say I have a problem. I have a problem. The problem is I don't fucking win. That's the problem.
Well, if you knew how to play your cards better, you'd win. But
no, I win at poker. I lose at the other shit. Anyway.
All right. Kirby wants to know what type of wood you normally like to grill or smoke with, Jared?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Canadian maple. It brings a bit of sweetness in my mind, and wood. I feel like wood's one of those interesting things where you see a lot of people who will talk about wood not necessarily adding flavor. It all just has a different amount of smokiness that it gives off. But I don't know that I really subscribe to that. I feel like when you use hickory versus maple or pecan, you can really actually taste the difference. So I'm a maple guy.
All right. And one other thing, and Bill at Chicken Fried Barbecue, thank you. I can't agree with you more. He says it's hard to fly like an eagle when you work for a turkey. Like
surrounded by turkeys, not work for a turkey.
No, that's not what it came up on here. So, I'm just saying, man, Heather.
You're about to be fired, all right? But I need you on Thursday, so you're going to be rehired, all right?
No more Christmas present for Ken.
I see. Hey, Heather, Mrs. Pickles is in the chat. Heather Baker. Your boy's on the hot seat coming up. Heather Baker, Pickles' wife. Your boy's in the hot seat coming up, so you better be there to help him out and get him to talk louder. All right, go ahead, Kent.
No, that's all I got. The only thing I was going to say is Heather Baker said she was here for Bob Ross.
There you go.
That's what she actually said. So, all right, that's all I got. And I think it's still 28-14, 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
All right, cool.
So.
All right, we're coming to the end here. I got one more question.
All right.
And then we'll throw it back to you guys to kind of wrap it up. Obviously, people are kind of getting ready to go to bed. It's a little late. 2 hours. Great job, man. We're over the 2 hour mark. You kept it rolling, so great job. Let's see here. Who would you like to see in the hot seat?
Who would I like to see in the hot seat? I think you should get Guga in the hot seat.
Guga, all right.
Yeah.
Will you put a word out for me? A good word out for me?
You bet. The guy, you should get him and his buddy Ninja. So the way their video format usually works is they'll do like steak experiments or something like that, and then they do a little taste test afterward.
Uh-huh.
And the guy, anyway, they're all personalities. They'd be perfect for this.
All right, hell yeah, yeah. If you get me in touch with them, shit, you do a little emailing back and forth. I would love to get that guy on. We're looking into February is the next open spot, but we're always ready to have people come in on a special date too. So if we get some people that need to work around that schedule, we will. I'm going to let Kent and Jared say a couple words, but before I shut off the broadcast, I'm going to put the link for the Google chat in the hot seat chat. So get ready to jump on if you want to jump on. We'll be on for a little bit. Hey, Ray Mack, Big Ray's in the house. How you doing, brother? Glad you could be here. We're kind of wrapping it up, but I'm glad to see you jump in there, brother, for sure. Kent, any parting words?
Jared, you're a hell of a good sport and great guest. Appreciate it all, and best of luck in the future for you on both Instagram and YouTube. You killed it tonight, buddy. You did great.
Sure.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right, Jared, you got anything left to say?
Just thanks to everybody who stuck it in here for we're coming up on 2 hours here, so appreciate you guys.
Over 2 hours.
Yeah, no, and yeah, just really appreciate everybody being part of this community, and thanks for being part of it. It's we do this stuff for you guys. It's not for ourselves. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Right on. Well, as we're coming to the end here, Jared, hey, thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. You were awesome. You're a great guy to talk to. I've enjoyed this. I hope we can continue to chat and keep bouncing things off. I know we got a little collaboration coming up, so I can't wait for that. I really enjoyed this. I really have. You are such a nice, good dude, very positive, and that's what we need in this world. So, hey, kudos to you, and I'm glad you were able to come on. And I'm glad we were able to make this work out for you. So, thank you so much. All right.
I'm looking forward to that beef ribs collab we got coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna do the dang thing. It's gonna be good times.
We're gonna destroy it.
I can't wait. I plan on doing a bunch because I'm gonna take the meat from those ribs and do other videos because I have so many other shit I want to do with this. So it's gonna be a good time. All right, guys. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Do not jump on until I go off the air, please, because we don't want a bunch of people kind of doing the thing. But thank you all for being here. I know it's a special night. Monday is a little bit out of the ordinary, but I appreciate everybody being here. We had a high of 50s, 53, 54, something like that. That's great for a Monday night. Tune in this Thursday. We have one of our moderators, Jay from LeprakonTV. He will be in the hot seat, so that'll be a good time, I know for sure. I know we'll be talking about Blackstones. We'll be having a couple Coronas. It'll be a good time. So thank you all for being here. We'll see you guys on Thursday.